YouTubers, it's Big Baba back with another Sunday is Gun Day. Seems to be not super popular playlist so far, but hopefully it'll pick up. I will run out of guns in 3 to 4 weeks, but maybe I'll get a new one by then, or we'll find something else gun-wise to talk about on that Sunday. It'll always be gun-related. Ideally, I'll have new guns, but every now and then. But for now, it's just showing what I've already got. So, today I decided to show this. This is my see, it's empty. This is my Taurus Judge Magnum. The Magnum is the fact that it's got the 3-inch cylinder versus the 2.5-inch cylinder. If you're not familiar with this gun, let me tell you just a little bit about it first here. Probably need to do a little cleaning on it. Shouldn't be super dirty because it did go to the range, but due to range restrictions, I didn't use it as much as I wanted to. We actually took it to a particular range the last time that allowed shotguns. However, quickly discovered that by shotguns they just meant that there was a spot to do the pull and shoot with the regular shotguns. I was not able to. There's not really a range that allowed for me to fire the shotgun shells out of this. So that gets to me to what's special about this gun is that it fires 45 Colt or 410 shot shells. They do make a raging version of the Judge that also fires 454 Gasul, which I think was out when I bought this, but I actually was unaware of it because I actually might have opted for that instead. However, 45 Colt is plenty of bullet for a regular bullet, and 410 shot shells, it's just cool that you can shoot them out of a handgun. So it's the site's a little weird on this. I feel it takes a little bit to get used to it, but it's got the red dot or whatever, orange sight on the front there, and you set it down the groove in the back end of the gun towards the hammer. It is both single action and double action. Again, it is obviously a revolver. It's got the 3-inch barrel on this one, so it allows for the 3-inch 410 shells, which I've figured out are not actually 3 inches usually. There are some that are the full 3 inches, but most of them that say 3 inches actually are like 2 3/4 or something like that. But so yeah, I mean both, just no special clip or anything needed to fire either the 45 Colt or the 410 shot shells. You just load them right in. It's got the normal ejector that a lot of revolvers will have. I mean, it's a pretty heavy trigger. Actually, someday I want to get all those tools. I want to get a chronograph and a trigger pull measure and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a pretty decent pull. I would say if you're firing for accuracy, I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good on single action. Not bad, you know. So I'd say if you're firing and trying to get really accurate, go for this. You would go for the single action on this. If you just needed rapid fire, then obviously double action is probably going to be the best. So with that, somebody's actually up this early. Let's give it a quick cleaning here. Like I said, it shouldn't be too dirty, but let's do it anyway. Spray some hops down. Just each of that. Each of those and down the barrel. And we get the trigger area. Trigger area is probably fine. We'll just hammer, not trigger. But yeah, let's run this brush through here. On either end, because they're just got the shorty on right now. Let's see. What else can I talk about this gun? So they make a 2.5 inch version. Again, they call this one this is one of the originals. They call this one the Magnum. The 2.5 inch they just call the Taurus Judge. And then later on they came out with stubbier and I feel like cheaper made. They were mostly polymer versions called the Public Defenders version. I mean, they're probably fine. I've never shot one or held one, but you know, I'm not against polymer guns. I prefer the lighter weight when it doesn't affect any, you know, anything else. Let's see. I'll show you in a little bit here after I brush this out a little bit. Again, didn't need too much here. Show you the current ammunition I have for it, and I'll mention a couple others that are available, as well as some go over some of the ideas, how people might use this. Personally, I picked it up as mainly to have as a home gun. You know, home protection gun. A lot of people also use it for keeping the car for you know, for self-defense. But there's a lot of other uses for it. there's a lot of skeptics out there that say, why have a 410, a handgun that shoots 410 shells, and the the pattern's too wide to make it accurate or to make it worthwhile. And that's actually, I'll explain that right now while I'm doing this. They're talking about like birdshot and stuff like that. The pattern does spread out quite much more rapidly than a long shotgun, but that's to be expected. But the thing is that the main point of this gun really is for self-defense, and self-defense is going to happen usually within yards, 10 yards or less, probably, more than likely. And that's where I'd use that. I mean, from, most people's houses don't have rooms that are more than 10 yards across. So there can be, you can, if you're one of the cynics, or if you watch any of the cynics out there on it, just, kind of keep that in mind. Keep on the purpose of the gun versus, and what it's capable of. I mean, I also bought it mainly just because I thought it was cool that I could shoot a shotgun shell out of a handgun. Honestly, that was like the key factor for me. And then I decided that on what I was going to use the gun for primarily, what its purpose was going to be besides, going to the range. Alright, so that's probably good enough cleaning for now. Like I said, we didn't shoot that much out of it at the range. Wanted to shoot more, but just wasn't able to. So now, what do I shoot out of this? Currently, I haven't been shooting my own reloads because I actually am still working on I had to get this open. I ordered, I guess I ordered 250 rounds from LAX Ammunition. I did a lot of research before I ordered reloads from anybody, but actually these say factory new, but they make them anyway. But I did a lot of research before I ordered from them, because you never know what you're getting when you order from a non-normal manufacturer online. But they all had good reviews. I didn't find really anything that was any bad comments that were worthwhile anyway. Most of the bad comments were, oh, my box was broken when I got it in the mail or something like that. Nothing to do with the actual ammunition. So this is a 45 long Colt. As you can see, it fits in there nice and easy. And it's a big bullet. I tell you what, there's a lot of skeptics out there about the long Colt too. That everybody wants the 45 ACP or other big bore bullets. Tell you what, 45 is going to do plenty of damage for pretty much anything you typically want to do. I mean, from, even big game out there, I don't go big game hunting. In fact, I don't do a whole lot of hunting, but if you were to go big game, 45 45 Colt is, you know, plenty to have as a backup. Gun. Now, speaking of that, let me show you a couple other things I got. So now there's obviously all sorts of regular shot shells. You know, there's, you know, 8-shot and you know, birdshot 8. What is that? Birdshot, 8-shot. You know, there's a bunch of them. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are more knowledgeable than me. Typically with this gun, because it is for self-defense and stuff, they actually have manufactured special shot for, I'll just show you that. These are actually 2.5-inch shells, I think, because I couldn't find the 3-inch versions. Yeah, but these are, show you the box here, critical defense. And there's a couple other different versions of this similar shots out there, but this is basically a bullet type object in the front, you can see, and it's followed by how many? Let me get this right. Two 35 caliber balls. So basically, it says it's 41 caliber slug in the front there, followed by two 35 caliber balls. And I did shoot these, and they do have they do work pretty well. Hit mostly on target. Again, close range. You know, probably most often you're probably gonna get 2 out of 3 on target. You know, within the normal range that you're gonna be for self-defense, which is plenty. They do some pretty good damage. I've watched quite a few videos on the different ammunition for this gun, and this is definitely one of the better ones. There's another one that fires, I think it's 3 discs, metal discs. I think they come in a couple different versions, like I think the 2.5 inches, 3, and the 4-inch might be 4 or 5 discs. And there's a couple variations on that. I think there's another version of that kind of ammunition that has a couple discs and then some balls. But then you can also use, I found when I was watching videos that triple odd, let's get a good picture here, triple odd buck, from the right manufacturer. Herders were, you know, I saw herders that did perform very well. And there was a couple others, but herders happened to be the one that I could find. And that triple odd buck is really a good option for this, for self-defense. It targets or patterns very similar to these critical defense rounds. And, you know, basically you're getting triple odd buck shots, which is 4, in the case of these 3-inch guys here, it says it's 4 steel balls. I don't know how big the balls are in triple odd buck, but they're, I believe they're about as big, you know, about the size of the actual 410 shot. You know, like they're just stacked in there on top of each other. So the major complaints you'll find from people are people trying to fire birdshot or things that are less than triple odd. You might get away with double odd buck. But things that are not the defensive rounds and not triple odd buck are usually, so they're trying to find birdshot, 8-shot, whatever it is, 6-shot. They're complaining about the spread of the pattern, even at close range, from those guys that you're probably not going to injure your target to the point that you want to, which is fine. So don't use those. However, there are people out there that also use this, the judge, as a snake gun, in which case those smaller shots are definitely worthwhile to use because, 6-shot, 8-shot, if you're out and you're worried about running into snakes, and you do run into a snake, you definitely want more. You're going to be shooting from pretty close, out of strike range of the snake, but, probably within a couple of yards of the snake. And you're going to get a lot of projectiles on target on that small snake with the smaller shotgun shells, like the bird shot, 8-shot, maybe 6-shot. So that's another use for this gun that people have made use of it as a snake gun, and I could definitely see that. I personally don't have to worry about that, although we did have a snake in the backyard last year. I'm not often around areas with a lot of snakes, but if I were going to be, I'd be bringing this with the right shot shells. And there's a couple other, I just talked about a couple other theories, or not theories, or thought processes that people have with this gun as far as self-defense. Some people feel that it might be a good idea to load this with, if you're going to keep it around for home invaders or whatever, to keep different, a specific order of rounds in this gun. Like, you might have some birdshot and have that as a first, warning shot. Because they're going to get sprayed with at least a few pellets. It's probably not going to do much to them, but it's definitely going to give them a severe warning. A stinging warning. And then follow that by something bigger, maybe a 6-shot, and then follow that by, triple odd buck or the self-defense rounds. And lastly, with a 45 Colt, or 2. Personally, if somebody's in my house, they're not going to get a warning. Oh, excuse my language, I'll try and bleep that out. Try to remember to bleep that out, hopefully I do. But they're not going to get a warning. Whatever I shoot at them, I'm going to want it to take them down. So for me, I might load it with 2 different kinds. I might load it with the self-defense rounds, like 3 self-defense rounds followed by 2 45 Colts. By the way, this is a 5-cylinder. But otherwise, I'm not going to mess around with any firing a birdshot or anything like that at somebody that's trying to do me harm. So, anyway, that's about it. It's kind of a longer video. Sorry about that. Didn't actually mean it to be. Just got to talking and cleaning and showing. But I hope you guys like it. Let me know if you have one of these. I like it. I really do. If anybody were looking for something that was to be, dedicated home defense gun or car gun, or a snake gun, or just have fun shooting shot shells out of a handgun, I definitely would recommend it if you are looking to have another gun. But yeah, let me know if you have one, if you have a different version of it. Let me know your opinions, good and bad. I can take it. I've watched a lot of negative comments on this gun, but it's not going to change my opinion. I still like it. And we will see you on the next video. Big Papa out.